US President Donald Trump announced that Israel has agreed to the necessary conditions for a 60-day ceasefire, even though details are unclear. He urged Hamas to accept the deal, warning it won't get better. Israel hasn't officially confirmed, but signals suggest support for a hostage release framework. Trump set to meet Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu next week, and he believes a deal is close. The war continues as Israel demands the return of all hostages, and Hamas calls for a permanent truce and Israeli withdrawal. This comes amid intensified Israeli strikes in Gaza, where over 56,000 have died since October. Aid distribution remains contentious, with accusations of Israeli forces targeting civilians, which Israel denies. A previous ceasefire collapsed earlier this year after renewed fighting. The Dalai Lama confirmed his spiritual lineage will continue after his death. His successor will be chosen through traditional Tibetan Buddhist method. He insisted the next Dalai Lama will be born outside China. China is expected to appoint its own rival Dalai Lama, which Tibetans reject. The Dalai Lama fled to India in 1959 after a failed uprising against Chinese rule. He remains a spiritual leader and symbol of Tibetan identity in exile. Over 7,000 people, including Richard Gere, attended his 90th birthday celebrations. His decisions is seen as vital to preserving Tibetan culture and unity. A Ugandan military helicopter with 8 people on board crashed at Mogadishu's Aden Adair International Airport, causing a fire that was quickly contained. The helicopter came from Balidogo Air Base and crashed in the military section of the airport. Eyewitnesses reported seeing smoke and flames. The cause of the crash and casualty details are still unclear, and an investigation is underway. Ugandan troops are part of the African Union force supporting Somalia's fight against the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab insurgency. Gold has become a crucial source of revenue for military governments in West Africa's Sahel region, including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, as they battle jihadist insurgencies and regional isolation. While high gold prices attract global investors, much of the region's gold comes from informal small-scale mining, often controlled by armed groups or exploited by governments and foreign allies like Russia's Africa Corps. Revenues rarely benefit local communities and instead fund military campaigns, mercenaries, and sometimes insurgents. Efforts to regulate blood gold have been less effective than past campaigns against conflict diamonds due to weak enforcement and the difficulty of tracing gold. Much of this gold ends up refined in the UAE before entering global markets, including the UK, with little way to track its origins. And that is all from the global scenes. Harmony Agba for reporting for BTV News.